Thank you very much for three inspiring and insightful papers. Okay, so now we'll proceed to question and answer. Open the floor to the audience, viewers, and panelists themselves. We already have one question from our dean, Brun. Brun, would you like to ask the question live?
To Dr. Yanagisawa, I'm interested in the tuning, the tuner of the gongs. I want to know if it's really a question of tuning pitch, or is it trying to capture an ideal timbre? That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your question. I think the gong tuner tunes not just the pitch but also the timbre, because the gong has a very complicated overtones, which is not non-integral multiple. It is very different from the like for example guitar or piano, which is an integral multiple. So the fundamental frequency is the first peak of the overtone. But in the gongs, for example, flat gongs, number second and fourth frequency peak is very important. As far as we analyze, that decides the pitch of the gong. But also another different, overtones. They, lower, and the two distinct frequency peak, they up, and so that they balance between the overtones. Of course, they don't have the acoustic knowledge or musical knowledge, but they do by their the experience. And so what we analyze so far is they are doing so much difficult things by just using the hammer and their ears. But we are not yet discover the full what they're doing actually. How is the goal of the tuning? We not yet discover. So we are just now researching more deeply about the gong tuning.
Related to that part of your presentation, I have one question about the gong tuning. In your presentation, you stated you used the verbalization of the gong tuning that you recorded. No, in my understanding, the methodology of ethnography, the intentional action making by researcher as a change agent, it has been one of the concerns in anthropological studies, I think. But in terms of verbalization, many musical traditions in Asia are not equipped with verbalization. So may I know your position in this issue?
You are right, and the traditional gong tuning skills are not verbalized and orally transmitting with in their communities. So, so verbalizing such traditional skills is also maybe changing their culture by the researcher involved. So I'm not yet decided how we can collaborate with two traditional skills, because now the traditional skills are very, decreasing. Younger generation don't have enough motivation and time for, the transmit their skills. So I as a researcher, I'd like to help if the because I can analyze the changes of the gong skill, so that if we have some data, or maybe it's audiovisual materials that can be used by their local people, so that they can more understand or more interested in the gong tuning. That is also some idea. But verbalization is, as you mentioned, it's very political, and how can I say? It's not so only good side. So I'll be still wondering how to do that. If you have some idea, maybe please let me know about workshop or some kind of skill transmission.
How do they express the sound? You show the frequency spectrum, the with the many harmonics, and after the correction, pitch correction, it has two peaks, only two peaks. How they express that kind of change in their language, I mean.
No, I think it's very difficult to tell the complicated things. So I think just how can I say? Because we can real time show the changing of the spectrum by computer, so that if the gong tuner tunes some point, and then the frequency spectrum changes from this to that, so that they can understand the difference, right? The peak comprise. So, but I think I don't know yet, but still I can share with the gong tuner, and gong tuner understand what I show the spectrum, so that still some gong tuner know what they doing, not by they don't know the acoustics, but still they can understand what I show. So I don't know if it can help the young people or not, but because like nowadays young gong tuner use a guitar tuner to tune the gong, but it is just only one peak of the fundamental tone they are knowing the change. But the gong is, as I mentioned, a lot of different overtones. It's very complicated, so that I don't know. I don't want too much simplification of the gong tuning. So I'd like to show the very how can I say, a complicatedness to what they're doing. So I don't know. It's help to motivate the gong tuning or not. But anyway, I want to share what we have understand with the help of the gong tuner and other people, so that I'd like to how can I say, interpret of what I doing to them, because it is some power of the audiovisual materials. Not just text is very difficult to tell, but sometimes it helps, but sometimes it does not help. I'm not sure, but we will try to challenge.
Okay, thank you very much. Now we have three questions from the audience. Two are for Dr. Michiyo. The Taguchi-san, Motohide Taguchi-san, would you like to speak on live? Or may I read your question? Two questions. Are there any relationships between the people who upload these videos each other? For example, listening to each other's videos and influencing each other, or preloaded videos encourage other people to try to upload similar ones with their own creativities. Yeah, maybe.
May I answer the first question first? This is what I need to find out. But from what I see, well, like the first one with the bamboo theater, the long one, a young man was playing. That channel has only 11 subscribers, and although the video itself has been watched more than 3,000 times in the past 13 months since it was uploaded first in October last year. So with the 11 subscribers, I'm not sure like this channel is very popular, and but well, at least 3,000. It was watched 3,000 times more than so. Well, I really cannot tell the extent of the coverage. The another one had the second one with the Auld Lang Syne has 170 subscribers, but still, this number is still very small for YouTube, for YouTube channels. And the third one, I was not able to see the number of subscribers. The fourth one, the one singing with the guitar, that channel has 3,800 subscribers. And that guy, I think that guy had similar channels, already several channels. And this is the one, is quite a latest one, and it already had 3,800 subscribers. And he's quite popular in the region. So I think a very few quite popular ones were watched quite widely, but others I do not think so. And also I see the tendency from the comments, from the language of the comments, that those who watch these videos come from almost the same community. So if today's 4 videos, I think, are all only from the province of Kalinga, but even within the province of Kalinga, there are a number of ethnic groups, and the languages are so many, so diverse. So I really do not think that they would really watch the other groups' videos. But I really have to find out how the situation is. But in the first place, I have to establish the logical methodology of doing this. And this is the major challenge that I'm facing now, actually, because usually the YouTube studies would suggest that you should only go to the channels that have, let's say, 1,000 subscribers, for instance, or those who the channels that upload new videos regularly or very frequently, like at least one in each month. But when we are doing the studies about the indigenous peoples, the community is very small and they're so scattered. So it's not practical to look for a channel that has 1,000 subscribers. So except for for Anil Banasan, the last example, he has 3,800 subscribers. But well, for this kind of study, I do not think that it is not important to look at the videos that have only very few subscribers. So this is my answer to the first question.
Could you answer to the second question? Besides adding strings to bamboo jitters and making new lyrics for Shall Do My Songs, could you kindly tell us other types of creativities you found in various videos?
Okay. Thank you for the question. Yes, almost all songs are newly composed, so they keep on composing, producing new songs. I mean, with new lyrics. So that's of course an aspect of creativity which I overlooked in my presentation. As for bamboo instruments, I haven't really observed that much new creativity. I mean, the new improvements or the inventing new ways of using the instrument is occurring. Unlike the case in Vietnam, where they put the instrument into the electric amplifier, which is very interesting. But in the Northern Philippines, as far as I have observed, I haven't much observed that kind of changes, except for the one that I watched, I showed in the video. But I also needed to clarify how long that improvement has been there. As for the gong ensembles, so I would say the so-called staginization has been happening for some decades already. So when they do staginize their performances, of course, they do change lots of things. I'm not sure if you call it creativity or not, but the changes are happening. Thank you.
Okay, another question for Michiyo-san from Mikhail Alexander Voltier. Do you think the phenomenon happening to the subjects you highlighted in your presentation can also happen to the other indigenous groups, or will this involve navigating the cultural issues involved?
Okay. The phenomenon happening to in the presentation can happen to the other indigenous groups, or will this involve navigating the cultural issues involved? Okay, let me find out. I mean, let me think first. What happening to the subject? You mean the YouTube, the combination of the sort of the medianization of folk elements, if that is the theme, and I think it is certainly happening to other groups, not only in the Philippines but also in other countries. Like I have watched very interesting videos from Indonesia, for instance. So I think this is rather universal phenomenon that is happening. I hope I answered the question.
Okay. One more question to Dr. Michiyo from
yes.
Dean.
Yes.
This is it. Indeed, we have a lot of videos uploaded by communities. That makes this a viable area of research. Have you come across issues like what can be shared in YouTube and what should not?
Thank you very much for the very interesting question. I haven't encountered so far any issues, but I'm sure there should be some issues once I go to the community and listen to them. I think they may be saying lots of things like making rumors they should be saying lots of things about this and that, but which I have no access to that kind of information at this moment. So I would say that I do not know at this moment, but I sense there must be some.
Okay, another question for Dr. Yanagisawa from my student. Have there been moves to create or develop a notation system for gong playing and tuning?
Notation system, making a score or something for gong playing.
Yes. Or tablature, something.
No, I don't think there's anything about that. And yes, as far as I know, I don't think.
Okay, so there is none. For example, by researchers, previous researchers.
Yeah, previous researchers, including me, transcript score about the gong playing already. Especially Vietnamese scholars publish some book about gong music, but still very few, not much. Yes, as far as and especially gong tuning skills are not even in the explained in the text. So a lot of things is very difficult to understand for the people, local people, because now the old people, very few old people know how to explain what they are doing. So that, that is what I mentioned. It's not just notation. Notation is like score, so it's not so systematic way. I'd like to, do that. More like a procedure of their doing of gong tuning. Sorry, it's some noise from another room. Maybe.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, for the last question, then may I ask one simple question for Dr. Inoue? Dr. Bias previously asked if you are talking about buffalo or water buffalo, because water buffalo is common, something in common in Southeast Asian countries, and the water buffalo is our concern in the Philippines. So why we have water buffalo? This is for agriculture, farming, basically. So I think your video featured the grazing time with the buffalo, but what about working together in the farm? Now, while working, do they still use cowbells? Then do they share a moment of life? Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for your question. Water buffaloes in the Krum people are only for the ceremony sacrificing buffaloes. They are not for cultivating rice field or something field, not for agriculture, only for the ceremony when they sacrifice the buffaloes. So they, and one thing, they are the goods for, how can I say, status symbol. Why they have buffaloes? They are the buffalo owners are respected the high economic status traditionally, but nowadays such such thing is decreased. So yeah, I summary. Water buffaloes and human beings have relation of very emotional, or yeah.
Okay.
They don't see them domestic animals or economic animals. They are peer animals. Like that.
Okay, that's something new to me. I didn't know about it. Thank you very much.
Really,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. So it's almost time. Actually, we already extended. I'm sorry about it. If I want to summarize three papers included in common topics such as sound in space and time in everyday life, materiality, and its so-called improvement of indigenous musics, and the use of audiovisual media technology in musicking, as well as research methodology. The approach does not divide listening, playing, using, and recording, but rather attempts to integrate them into the whole music experience that embraces the prospect of creation. In this perspective, indigenous music and sound are not presented as the preferred or marginalized, but something that is vital and self-innovating in the relationship between the local researchers and any other participating people. I hope it concludes the panel, this panel session. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So if you still have questions, you can write in the question and answer, then speakers will answer you in a written form. So, thank you very much.